Hi there, in this short video I'll show you how you can add a new client to Engager. So to do this you need to go to Clients at the top of your screen and then select New Client. At this point you can select the entity type and I'm going to go ahead with Limited Company. And at this point you can select the status. So Prospect is essentially a lead or a new potential client. Active is someone that is a client already. And archived is someone that's maybe left your practice. Um, and then at this point, we can import from company's house. So if we go ahead and search our company, we can then select the one that we want to import. That'll pull through all of the company details as well as the officers in relation to the company. Now, as you scroll through, you can add additional information, or you could remove information as well. So we could select here that it's the same as the registered office address for the trading address. And then at the bottom here, you've got all of your custom fields. So if you wanted to add additional custom fields, you can. We won't cover that in this video to try and keep this one short. But if we then go to the next step, we can then see all of the steps that we need to go through to add this client along the top here. And on each step, it will just prompt you with what you need to do. So at the moment, this company has no related individuals. We have imported them from company's house, but we just need to set them up correctly. So if we select add, and then you select use officers imported from company's house, or you could find existing individuals if they already exist in your Engager account. So if we select that, and then select link, 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 and link, that's essentially letting me know that it has found these individuals within my Engager account already. So instead of creating new ones, I can link them to existing. And then at this point, we can select create new client on the ones where no matches were found. That will then create all of the directors within Engager. And you'll notice that these new ones that I've created do not have home addresses in at the moment, or emails, or mobiles, or telephones. So you can add them manually. And then the ones that already exist have their information already because I've just linked it to existing profiles. And then if I select next, we've got related businesses. So this is really useful if you wanted to link companies that are connected to one another. So if I search and then search Ash, no match is found. Engager, there you go. So I could say, yeah, that is linked to Engager.app limited, and I can create that link. So whenever I come back, I can click the name. I've just pressed Shift or Command on Apple and clicked it to open it in a new tab. But that's really useful when it comes to navigating around Engager. The next step we've got is services and pricing. So at this point, we can start enabling the services that the client needs, and then we can answer the questions around those services in order to work out what our suggested fee is. Now, that is completely customizable, but I won't go into that today. Yeah, so I've selected that fee as the fee that I would like to charge, and that's worked out an annual fee of $2,100, but I am going to be charging it monthly. And then I'm just going to enable CT600 for them as well and put in an annual fee of £150. So that then splits out the two fees at the top for you there. And then we go to service details. So at this point, we can select our frequency, or we can override the default frequency, which is currently set to every 1 month for our bookkeeping process, where we process bank transactions. We could set that to a one-off job or a custom frequency, but I'm going to leave that as it is. I'll just put in a date as to when it's next due. And then on the right-hand side here, we've got our phases and who's responsible for each phase. So Team Engager is currently responsible for the preparation, but I could set that to Peter. And then I can custom, I can set a custom budgeted time for that. And I could say, this task should take 1 hour. And then I've got the second phase, which is completion. And I could set that, leave that as Team Engager and set a budgeted time of 30 minutes. Okay, and then we've got the same for the CT600. So you will have a section like this for every service that you enable for a client. Okay, so I will skip that one for the time being and move on to catch-up fees. So Engager looks at your client's year end and it works out how much time has already passed. So it figures out what may be the catch-up fee that needs to be calculated for that. So where you're charging £175 a month for this, you may need to charge an extra £175 just for the period that's already elapsed. And it's doing the same for the corporation tax. We can then decide how that should be billed. So we could apply a discount of 0%, or you could select that and actually apply a discount. Then you've got your catch-up fees should be paid in monthly installments or in one go. So we could say it's going to be paid in monthly installments over the course of the next 11 months. And then first installment should be paid by the 10th of April. At this step 7, we've got external systems. So this is where we can actually state that we also use other software, and this client has an ID in the other software. So you can start keeping track of IDs rather than client names. This is really useful if you have 2 clients that have the same name. So rather than referring to them as a client and then finding them in different systems, running into potential risks and errors, you can refer to them by ID as well. And you can give the system any name, let's say TaxCalc, and then we can put the TaxCalc ID in there. Step 8, we've got our terms. So this is where you can define who the director is, who the manager of this client is, what are their payment terms, what late payment percentage should they be charged, who is the data protection officer, the email address, notification days, and number of years data to be held after disengagement. All of these bits of data can be pre-populated from the settings, and you can completely customize them as well. And then the final step we've got is the summary. So this essentially summarizes everything we've entered so far. And that's it. Once you've finished, you press save and you've added the client. I hope you found this useful. If you do need any other help or assistance, feel free to get in touch with us on contact